settle there, and sometimes we get abandoned because of the weather. But I do know that a lot of people from Raleigh do use Forrester as a roadway to San Diego, and also on the way back. So it's not necessarily, we'd like to think of it as agricultural, but we've outgrown that. I mean, we use it as a major roadway to get to where we want to get to.
No, and to dovetail on that, development in the area, especially west of 86, it's a nice, like you said, it's a nice way to get points to the west. If you're talking about Coachella, is migrating that way to the west to get to Forrester, and up Forrester to this 86, and then down to the 8. It's a nice bypass. So.
About more enforcement of the 55-mile-an-hour and more signs addressing farm equipment. These people from Arizona come up at 90 miles an hour, and your tractor is going down. We try to avoid our tractors on Forest Road as much as possible, but sometimes there's no avoidance. You have to use it. And they come up 90 miles an hour, and then, oh, this guy's only going 25, and then that's what causes the most. I'm sorry.
And part of that is Tom and I had talked about this a little bit before, but when you have a 2-lane roadway, you don't have very many options.
Go or don't go.
Yeah, exactly. Either it's safe to pass or it's not, and you just have to stop. So, one of the thoughts would be in key areas maybe to have a turnout or widening it out to 4 lanes. To address the turn lanes. Yeah. So these things are things that we'll consider in the study. And again, chop that out for me. That'd be great.
One of the things that's happening, and maybe it's just the personality of this world now, but when you drive Forrester Road, if you see a car coming from any of the side roads, they very rarely stop sign to mean anything anymore. It's just ching, and it's just, and then when you talk about trucks, I'm one that I hate to pick up on Forrester Road, so I go 55, I go 60. It's okay, I go 60 anyway.
You have to remember the highway patrol here. How fast do you go, Virginia?
The trucks are going 60. The cars get behind them, and they have this attitude that they want to be first, and so that's when we have, and when we do this conversation, as a presentation trucks are doing they're on
So if you're passing a truck doing 60, and these guys from the side streets aren't looking, and they're coming down.
and that's what happens several times
I actually think the trucks are driving very safely, most of them on Forrester Road. I did witness the accident when the truck killed the lady when he was on the cell phone. I witnessed that accident. It wasn't pulled right in front of me. But the thing of it is it's the cars that are not driving safely. And they come up on you. I put my cruise control on 57 Virginia. But anyway, I put my cruise control on because it's just safer to do it, and you get a finger a lot. I mean, really.
Thumbs up or?
Of course.
Truthfully, if you drive 60 or 65, they're going to run over you.
I'm sorry, I've been 57, and that's what I said.
Yes,
They don't like it.
That's it. They'll run over you. You got to get out of their way.
Yeah, you're right. It's 55 miles home.
And the trucks, they can't have, their gas,
Trucks are
they
going
can't hold it
55.
at 60. They need to get up and get going. They
Well,
have to.
part of the problem that you have with Forest Road was mentioned by Scott,
And
is that sometimes in reality we don't understand the ownership. The ownership of Forester Road is the County of Imperial. The enforcement of Forester Road is the state of California. So when you move into 2 different jurisdictions or 2 different entities like the state and like the county, one does not like to step on the other. Whereas you got Highway 86 out here, that is fully owned and operated by the state of California. And you know your own local police department over here, so they'll nail you if you're doing 37. down the highway here, if whatever it is. So there's a good understanding between the city and Caltrans and that, because they have to provide the studies, the engineering studies, because there has to be a speed survey done for the roads. So on Forrester Road, this is one of the problems that they're studying right now. It was, who does the ownership go back to, or who would like to have the ownership? If the ownership goes to the state of California under a study that they're going to provide, then things will change. You'll see some changes in the way and the attitudes and the behavior of the roadway and the way it exists. But and the county has its way of operating things, and this is part of their study. Part of their study is to just unfold all this stuff and all the problems that is convoluted with the shared ownership of this thing.
But how is that possible? Would there be a vote to just turn that road over to someone else? I don't understand.
Well, with the state of California, with Caltrans, like Rosa was talking about, like in Brawley, Highway 86, they're going to relinquish, which means that they're going to give the road back to the city, like in El Centro and that. And they say, here's the roadway. It's like if the state of California came over here to Westmore and said, you know what, we no longer want this roadway, we want to turn it over to you, and that there's some dollars attached to it and stuff like this. Well, then we take full jurisdiction of it, which means that we take full responsibility and liability of anybody gets hurt or whatever it is. So why I speak so positive about this study and why I'm so for this study is that the fact that Gary said it in a right manner. It's not going to go away tomorrow. And even though that years ago that your generations before you were here, from the Bruceries all the way from whoever was here, and they farmed all this community, and Forrester Road was a community that was being used, and Forrester Road was being used as a truck thing. We have seen the increase in traffic. We have had compiling a number of traffic accidents, and I am, like I said before, I couldn't be so more grateful that they're doing this study. I think that IVAG and SCAG and the people are studying a road, and I'm so glad it's Forrester Road and it's not something else. We really, I am. This is great.
Well, I don't mind the traffic as long as it's controlled, but right now it is not controlled.
But the one thing that the power that you have as citizens, and don't do it while you're driving because there's laws now that say you can't do it, but call the highway patrol. I call the highway patrol on a regular basis.
I have to.
I do. I drive, I put 50,000 miles on my truck in the last 2 years, and I'm all over the state of California. And it does not bother me a bit to get on the phone and call the highway patrol and say, you got a loose truck out there that's doing 70 miles an hour. Or you got a loose car that's out there doing, and you know what? They'll respond. The highway patrol will respond. If you got problems with an intersection with stop signs or whatever it is and you think there ought to be there, you know what? Call the county and get a hold of the County Public Works, Mr. Benet, over there at the County Public Works, or you can get a hold of, what's his name? Get a hold of the boys over there and tell them, you as a citizen, you have some say so.
Name's Phil.
Benet, it's a French name. I couldn't even spell it if I fell off a tree.
Actually, your main point of contact should be Supervisor Dean Wyatt.
Oh, Gary, okay, I'm agree.
Mr. Benet is on to Mr. Wyatt.
So, yeah, there you go.
Did your study come all the way into Westmoreland to the stop sign and beyond, or
Just the stop
just
sign.
the stop sign and all the way to Interstate 8 and beyond, or just Interstate 8?
Interstate 8 and then the 98. Just to the south, yeah.
In your study, is it going to come right into Westmoreland, or is it going to jog? Because they're talking about making a little bypass right here to Bogman Road, catching 86 and coming back around. Kind of senseless to think about that if you guys are going to come straight into the city.
So Wayne and I have talked about the potential for the bypass, and we're still, considering it as a potential alternative. And what you're talking about is that Bogman?